All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is Hannah. She is a yoga instructor. She's a healer. She knows a lot about spirituality, energy, and she's with me at the Joe Dispenza retreat. So I was like, I have to take this opportunity to speak to her. So here we are.
Woo.
How's it going?
Wow, how is it going?
Yeah, I already know the answer to
I know. I'm
that.
like, how is it going? I'm actually having a fascinating experience of I just had a healing. So I'm a Healy in the Joe Dispenza experience, and then coming back
Yeah.
into real life, and that's actually the
So
work.
so explain what a Healy is.
Okay, so everyone out there, at Joe Dispenza's work, there are healers, people that are giving love to a Healy. A Healy is somebody that is a part of a
Oh,
research project, actually. So we are interviewed throughout the
right.
next year to see how our bodies, mind, spirits actually shift from these coherence healings. It's really
So the
amazing.
Healy is the person getting the energy and the healing,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
How did you feel when they did it?
I
Did
mean,
you?
I've had two experiences now.
So one yesterday, one today.
Uh-huh.
You did both of them.
You get all three of them.
What's the third one? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's awesome. That's good. Good. How do
Yeah.
you feel?
I feel great. I actually, today's wasn't as reverent as yesterday's.
So yesterday's was better.
There is no worse or better though, and that's what I'm learning is
Okay.
they're both incredibly impactful. We went to go that question and answer. The
Yeah.
question that was being answered was if you do research on two brain scans and one woman comes out of a meditation
Hmm.
and she's like, that was the best meditation of my life. Another woman comes out, that was the worst meditation of my life. Their brain waves were the same. So they were actually
Huh.
both very deep in meditation, but it's projection.
Yeah. The way they perceive it, huh? Okay, that
Hmm.
makes perfect sense. I like
Yes.
it.
So
So be optimistic.
exactly. So was today a better or worse healing session? It was different. Yesterday's I cried the
I
whole
cried.
time.
I cried yesterday and today. Dude, I was just weeping. I don't care if people hear this. It's just one of those things. I don't know if it's a chain effect or me, but everyone around me was crying and happy, and like I was like, okay, and then like I really like settled myself, and his motto is just don't be yourself, just be no place, nowhere, no time, and I just literally saw my grandfather who's passed away just
Wow.
come and kiss me on my forehead, and then I just started bawling. I
Mm,
just started bawling, but that's just love, you know, because I didn't cry at his funeral. I was just kind of like shocked. He's very
ooh.
close to me, you know. So like it was just like one of those things where my heart opened up,
Mm,
which is what we're being taught, right?
it's true.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you're having a good experience. Okay. Question: what is tantric healing?
Okay. Yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
Um, Tantric healing. So Tantra, I think it's been what's the word? I just think it's been modernized in a way that doesn't actually respect the practice.
What is the practice stuff?
Mm,
Is it like you're healing people?
yeah, it's a self-healing practice. I would say it's a sister modality actually to yoga.
So do you? Is it kind of like what do they call it, Reiki, where you're like healing other people, or is it kind of like yoga kind of thing where you're doing it? Like, how does it work?
Yoga. So it's I would say it's like a sect, right? Like a sister medicine to yoga. There are different asanas, rituals,
Okay.
interesting rituals, neo rituals. So there's new rituals that they've made from older
Yeah, like New
rituals.
Age rituals.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
neo tantra, tantra. The word tantra, if you actually separate tan and tra in the Sanskrit language, means to weave.
To weave.
To weave. So similarly to what we're doing here, we're weaving together the mind and the heart.
Hmm.
In tantra, you're weaving together these different energetic systems, the feminine and the masculine, or the feminine is the left and the masculine is the right, or the divine and the animal, because in tantra it's all about the same thing. It's like you are a human that has blood and bile and guts and organs and is primal in nature. Like you will fuck, eat, sleep, and kill for what you need.
Right.
And there's also a piece of you that is incredibly, incredibly majestic, incredibly holy. And if you can bring those two together,
Okay.
that's actually full sovereignty and authority.
You're supposed to bring them together, or like concentrate more on the more holy part of you.
Bring them together.
Put them together.
You have to make the primal or the mundane
Mundane.
matter
Mm-hmm.
just as holy
Mm-hmm.
as the divine,
Got
just
it.
like in heart and mind. So
Okay.
I look for similarities in religions and cultures and philosophy. So if I was to relate it to Joe Dispenza, it's like Is the heart more important than the mind, or is the mind more important than the
They're
heart? You
both very important.
cannot get along with either of them. And then the root, is that less important because it's so dense, or is it the actual thing that even gives any of it animation?
Right.
Because if we weren't here, we wouldn't be having the experience at all.
So what she means, the root is like the lower chakra, right? I believe.
Oh, it's
So
instinctual.
instinctual, but that's what you need to pump up all the other ones.
Yeah.
So you need it.
It's where life lives. It's where pleasure lives. It's where orgasm lives, and we are made of orgasm. If you think of the Big Bang, even it was
Yeah.
two things exploding into one another, and
Yeah.
creating plasmic goo, so that all of this could exist. So it's all based on that connection, the
Good.
spark.
Okay.
So we're creating sparks.
Awesome.
Sparks will
Cool.
fly.
I like it. I like it. How'd you get into yoga?
Yoga.
And what type of yoga do you practice?
I practice so many. I call
That's
myself
good.
a la carte spirituality. I
So
just love it.
Don't limit yourself to one type. Just try to jump around. Practice as many as you can.
Yes, and like now that I've been with Joe, I'm excited to stick with a meditation practice that's as deep, because I've tried so many meditation
Meditations.
practices.
No, I'm talking about like yogas.
yogas.
Yeah, like there's Kundalini, there's this and that.
Yeah, that too. I recommend finding something that works for you, and I think it'll be different every day.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna get into yoga. That's like one more thing I want to really get into.
Yeah.
Because it's mind and body. I kind of just realized that when we were talking, because I've been working on my mind and like I'm callousing it, which is good. You know, I meditate, but like you also need your body too. So you have to tame the animal.
So with yoga, I believe yoga was actually the practice that you did to even meditate, because if your body is too tight, you can't sit.
That
Yoga
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I went to a Vipassana. We would meditate 10 hours, 12 hours a
Really?
day in silence for 10 days. If you are not comfortable in your body, it is so much more difficult.
Yeah.
Versus if you are studying, practicing yoga, if you know how to align your body to hold yourself up effortlessly, the practice becomes regal, right? It becomes noble. And we talk about that in Joe
More
Dispenza as
flow.
well.
More flow.
Yeah, it's accessible.
That makes perfect sense because I swim. And I swim competitively, and I've noticed every time I swim, my body gets loose, of course.
Yeah.
And when I do meditation, it just so much better because my body is relaxed and calm, and there's blood flowing. I just go into that meditation deeper.
Okay.
So it might be like what you said about yoga. You do yoga to get into the meditation, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Cool. What else? And as far as energy healing,
energy healing.
tell me more about that.
Wow, it's
Because
also
someone did it to
intertwined.
you today. That's awesome.
Someone did it to me, and that's actually why I am so grateful that I applied to be a healer. I've been doing yoga and energy work and tantric healings since I was 18. I'm 32. I think that's 14 years. Not the best at math.
Say 18?
Eight.
Yeah, that's 32.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, 14 years.
And I've done spontaneous healing, spontaneous Kundalini activations. I've healed
What's Kundalini activations?
Kundalini activation.
Yeah, it's kind of new to me. I don't know.
Same thing as kind of what Dr. Joe is explaining.
You mean like
when
with the
people
spine?
move? Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can take the energy from the bottom and take it to the top, but I do manual massage moves or touch therapy. And so basically with that, it's saying, should we pause?
Nah, go ahead.
Okay,
Who
cool.
cares?
Okay, cool. Hi guys. So but yeah, with that, it's same thing. We really just want to start to get the body's energy, this latent energy that we in the Western society really only use for sexuality, up, clearing the centers of the body, because when your channel is clear and your mind has the energy, you'll have more wisdom within how to use your energy. And I would like to think of it as then you're taking inspired action versus mundane action.
That makes sense.
You're out of the thrive and you're in, or you're out of survival and you're in thrival. Like you're thriving.
Yeah, you're thriving. I was trying to force it. It wasn't working, but I think today and yesterday, like I was trying to do it more, just flow with it, and it worked better. I didn't completely pop, as they say. That means like where you get all your chakras together and like you have a divine moment, but it just felt good. It just felt good.
Yeah, and that's the point.
That's the Kundalini thing you're talking about.
Yeah, and the more that you do it, like I can just sit here and focus on my heart and like feel expansion.
That's awesome.
But it's subtlety. So as you start to refine the system, and this is why I believe that yoga is so important in tandem to different practices, it's that when you start to practice yoga, the body system becomes refined. And just like anything, you take oil, you refine it, and then you can use it to run a machine. But if you're just taking oil out of the ground, it isn't going to be the same as oil that's been changed or alchemized to actually fuel something. And so we change the way our body is through movement, through breath work. We clear everything out. And then it's so much easier to feel. It's so much easier to be intuitive. It's so much easier to feel when your heart's open
Right.
because you get it.
Right.
There's nothing in the way. There's no past in the way. There's no future in the way. You're just
Got
like,
it.
oh,
Got it. You're just in the zone.
yeah.
Got it. I was gonna ask you what do you think is more important, like breathing and things like that, but I think it's all important, right? Like have it collectively, because there's just a class that someone took for 10 days. It's kind of like a retreat where you just concentrate on your breathing, and it
Nice.
really changed them. So I mean, I'm thinking about doing that too, along with yoga. So just incorporate all of it, just to be a better person.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
100%.
Yeah.
I say taste test everything and then turn it into your own practice.
Oh, mix it into the recipe.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I'll do Kundalini yoga classes can be anywhere from like 90 minutes to 2 hours. But
Ooh.
now I have the things, okay, I know these 3 practices. If I do them every day for 5 to 10 minutes, like I can get going.
Okay.
And then some days you need more, some days you need less. But once you start to discern what is going to work for you, I know when I'm angry. Well, you've seen me angry. I know when I'm angry, I have a tantric practice I have done for 2 or 3 hours. I can do in 15 minutes, and I'm totally clear of anything other than love.
Good.
And that's the point. It's how quickly can we go from
Zero.
reaction
Uh-huh.
to response? How can we go from, oh, here is how I want to completely react and make a big deal of something to like, oh, okay, well, what would love do? And so some days, and I don't know if you've experienced this. Have you ever been depressed for like 2 weeks?
You know what? Yes, but then ever since I started meditating like 4 years ago, now I'm at like 2 hours a day. I'm not depressed at all.
Well,
I'm like I
exactly.
appreciate life so much,
That's beautiful.
and I'm thankful for like the most simple things, like just being able to see and hear.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Well,
but it took me a while to get there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I imagine, hypothesize that the 2 weeks that you were depressed became like, oh, well, now I may be upset for 2 hours, or oh, now I'm upset for 20 minutes. And you can change or regulate your
Mhm.
system to come into a different energy.
Yeah, definitely. I just don't let other people control me because just like Joe Dispenza said, are you really going to allow someone else to control the way you think and feel?
Yeah,
And the answer is hell no. Why would I allow someone else to do that? So I just brush them off,
that's beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it takes some time to get into that, because I mean, family members have a better hold on you because they've been there for a while. They could like push some buttons on you,
That's true.
or like really close friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I still love them at the end of the day. If I don't want to kill them, but
that's true.
yeah.
That's funny. I love it.
What other retreats have you gone to, like just to better yourself?
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think all the way back. I've assisted a lot of retreats. I've done ecstatic bikini trainings. I've done tantric femininity trainings in Thailand. I've done yoga teacher trainings, massage therapy trainings. I'm a Reiki master teacher.
Ooh,
I've literally have done
a master teacher?
yeah.
Like you teach students?
hmm
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What's
It
the
is.
first one you said? Because I have no idea what that one is.
Ecstatic bikini training. So I'm not doing them in order. I started pretty basic. So I've started like most people would begin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was a massage therapist, and then I was like, oh, well, this is so fun. Now I know the body. I went to my first yoga class. I had never been to a yoga class. I can remember it like it was yesterday. Everyone was so peaceful and still, and I was like, I had been sick, so I was coughing, and I didn't even have the
Yeah.
respect for myself to not. I was like still in that mind state of I need to do this
Yeah.
versus like you're sick, you don't need to do this, you can go next week's, which is something yoga taught me. But everyone was so silent, so still, and I was like shaking. I could barely hold these postures. I was like, how do these people do it?
Yeah.
And then from there it just snowballed. I became Reiki master.
That's not how my yoga class went.
Really?
Mine was 2 weeks ago with a guy that I
2
met.
weeks?
2 weeks
That's
ago.
amazing.
Yeah, and no one knew what they were doing except the instructor. But it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of challenging actually because you have to keep your hand up for a few minutes and
Yeah.
it gets tired, and then like there's these certain poses.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for people that are starting off in yoga? Like, what should you concentrate on?
Your breath.
Your breath
Yeah.
more than anything.
Well, yeah, because the breath is what's going to move your whole body.
Okay.
You want to create oneness in the experience. As you inhale, for every inhale, there's a movement. For every exhale, there's a movement. So it's just about lining up your breath and your movement.
One more question, because I asked the same question to the yoga instructor.
Yeah.
Why do you think like breathing is so fundamentally important for people? Like, because especially with Joe Dispenza's class, like it's the breathing that helps you, reach that nirvana
Mhm.
state. And yoga, It's concentrating on your breathing. Why do you think it's breathing that's very important?
Oh, 100%. So breathing is regulating the nervous system. If you are running from a bear, your breaths are short and choppy and you're like, gotta get fast air, right? Or if you're stressed out at work, you get angry, the
Mm-hmm.
breath automatically tenses.
Yeah.
But if you can start to practice deep, long breaths from the whole torso,
Yeah, that's crazy.
it actually puts your body into rest and digest,
Yeah.
which gives you
So
so much more brain power
I
to make
practice that
choices.
because I learned about it. They teach Navy SEALs to do that, especially
Mm,
in like high tense combat situations. It's
mm.
called box breathing, where
Yeah,
you breathe in for 4 seconds and you breathe out for 4 seconds, and instead of being in fight or flight, you have more control of yourself. Yeah,
exactly.
that makes perfect sense. Okay, what else? Have you ever seen like healings? We saw one today. Where you were telling me the guy that couldn't walk
Oh
and
my
he
God.
just got off his wheelchair.
Yeah, I mean, so that, and I wish I would have been there for the whole thing, but you guys, like 100 people around this beautiful young man in his wheelchair, and he stood up. And I think he also has an eye patch. So he literally has
I
one eye
saw. Oh, that's the guy with the eye patch.
and
Okay,
he's in a wheelchair. And he walked his wheelchair out of the room.
he did.
Yeah, he pushed his own wheelchair out of the room.
That's actually pretty
It gives
amazing.
me the chills.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of weird, like the energy in the room for people that are just listening to this, but it's just everyone being positive and trying to help everyone else. So you're sending like positive energy out, and literally, I have seen people and taught them where they got better. There's this guy. I had lunch with him and his brother. He came in here. His brother came to help him off of the airplane. He has stage 4 cancer. He's young, like me and you, in
Yeah.
his early 30s,
Mm.
and he got chemotherapy last week. He couldn't eat. He had no appetite. I talked to him yesterday after like 4 or 5 days. He's like, dude, I feel really good. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, and they picked me to be one of the volunteers. Yeah, or the
Oh,
yeah
Heelys.
Heelys. Yeah, there we
That's
go. That
amazing.
is. I actually talked to his brother today. I'm like, how's your brother doing? He's like, way better than yesterday. I was like, dude, how good is he gonna get? He's like, really good.
Yeah,
And apparently he changed his name because he wants to be a completely new person
I love
that
that.
doesn't have cancer. So
Yeah.
changed his name to, I don't want to say his name, but
Yeah,
yeah. But that's awesome. Just
that's
that
powerful.
is powerful. But I saw it with my own eyes. I
Yeah.
saw the guy, like you could kind of see him still in his face after the chemo,
Yeah,
but he's just doing a lot better.
that's amazing. It really
Yeah.
is. Our minds are so powerful. Like what we choose to perceive in the world is really what we get. And a lot of that does come from trauma. But that's what the breath and presence, right? It's being present to the situation, choosing new patterns, choosing to go left after you've gone right for 500 years,
Yeah.
really being able to reflect without judgment. I think so. Today I got my healing,
Hmm.
and that was the biggest thing that came through. Like I said, it was different than yesterday. Yesterday, I was all tears and laughter and like I just saw so much light. And today, it was more the message like, no matter if you fall 100 times, there's never any need for being embarrassed.
Yeah.
The idea is like you're still
Right.
trying. Like
But the
there are
point is to
people that
pick
are
yourself up.
never trying.
Yeah.
There are
That's
people
bad.
that don't
That's bad.
try. There are people that don't believe. But if you continue to do the work and you continue to try and you continue to get even this much more better,
Right.
you're gonna have something that like
100%.
fixes it.
Yeah.
You just have to stay
Yeah.
consistent.
Don't I think it was Edison that said it. The only way to not fail is to try one more time.
That's true.
Just try one more time. If you fall, pick yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. What advice do you have for people that just don't try or just don't believe in themselves?
Mm.
What would you say, like to just like kick them in the butt to start, or like maybe just some advice for them?
Find something that you love.
Oh, be passionate about something.
Yeah, because then it doesn't matter if you believe in yourself. If you love something so much, it becomes it just becomes nature. Like I love to dance, and I wasn't always fun at dancing. I used to have to drink to dance, but I love dancing. And then eventually one day I was like, what if I didn't have to drink? Like how much more fun would that be? So and now I study dance
But what popped into your head to say that?
to just
To
find
say,
something you love.
yeah, no, not find something you love. To say, what if I don't drink to dance? How much more fun would it be?
Because it gets to a point
Uh
when
huh.
it's almost more miserable to not be authentic
Yeah.
than it is to just be yourself and appreciate and accept it.
Nice. And did you have more fun when you
Oh
danced
my
without
God, I have
alcohol?
so much fun.
Good.
I am like, I feel so fun. I'm like, how is it so possible to be so alive and have this much fun.
Right. That's funny that you said that because during our meditation yesterday, the afternoon one, I was meditating and the only thing I really saw was, I mean, I don't like see any vivid mystical things, but like, it was me dancing to the music, and like I was just so euphoric and
You saw
happy.
it?
Yeah, I literally saw myself dancing. I was looking at myself, and my other self was looking at me, and I was just like visualizing it, and just felt it, and like I just had this really happy feeling, right? Because it was that Arabic music, which I really liked. And then like I told myself, I was like, just remember this moment, and if anyone ever upsets you, just think of how happy you can be, and don't let
Yeah,
anyone take that from you.
that's true.
Yeah.
And
So
dance.
that's just how I felt during dance, though. It just feels good to move your body, you
Yeah,
know?
well, we're made for rhythm. Like our heart
Yeah.
beats to a rhythm. Like
Yeah.
nature moves in a rhythm. It makes sense that we need a rhythm in life. Like if we're dancing to the rhythm of life, life is dancing to the rhythm of us. So that's the thing too. Just I have to circle back to the like, what would you say to somebody that wouldn't believe in themselves? If you did not believe in yourself at all, you wouldn't be here. Because in order to be born
Mhm.
as a spark of God,
Mhm.
you have to believe in yourself.
Or some people sometimes like traumatic things happen. Some they lose their belief,
Yeah.
or certain things happens. But I always say you think you have it bad because you can't afford to buy a pair of shoes. Let's say you're poor until you meet a man or a woman that doesn't have feet,
Yeah.
and it puts things into perspective. Like you don't have it that bad. And
That's
like us being here in a third world country, like
at a resort eating
at a
like
resort,
massive amounts of
yeah,
food.
when and they're throwing the food away, like there's people starving, like, and I'm truly thankful. Like I said, the simplest things, just
Yeah.
waking up and just seeing, because some people don't have eyesight, like the guy with the eye patch,
Yeah.
or just walking,
That's true.
right? So gratitude, like we've been taught, is important.
So much gratitude. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, serious. Okay, what else?
That was beautiful too. If you don't believe in yourself, you can just start being grateful for what you have,
yeah,
and then it builds upon itself. It's like an
100%.
avalanche.
Well, here's the thing. This is how I started this podcast. I went to actually a healer who's actually a reverse like hypnotist too. He calls himself a reverse hypnotist. And like I'm in sales, so I'm in motivation a lot. And I paid him. I was like, I need you to help me be really motivated for sales, even though I'm like top in my company. And he worked with me. He's like, you're very loose, like you're confident in yourself. He's like, do you meditate? I was like, yeah, I do it all the time. He's like, okay, that's probably the answer. He's like, said you don't need motivation. I'm like, yeah, that's why that's why I paid you. He's like, no, what you need is purpose.
Oh.
So and then he's like, you need to like help people, and like how what will make you happy. I'm like, just traveling and just talking to different interesting people. It's like, and then it just popped into my head podcast. I was like, I'm doing it.
I love that.
Yeah, and my sister said it to me a week before too. So,
Wow.
but it didn't. I just sink in at that point.
That
But
happens.
yeah,
But it is that. So the universe will give you what you need.
yeah,
It'll always point you in the right direction through little
yeah. It is.
signs.
But you just have to listen to it and trust it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard at first because you don't really understand it, how it works, and you're not really supposed to understand it. Just believe in it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And then it gets fun to understand it too.
How? But that's what I'm trying to understand. How do you think that works? Like, let's say you truly want something, but you can't really afford it, but somehow it just comes to you.
100%. Oh my God.
How does that work though? And I'll tell you a story about how I got something like that.
I was gonna say I have these experiences all the time. Like this is, oh my God. So
Go for it.
I've healed myself of diseases.
What kind of diseases?
Just like immune
Okay,
disorders.
that's a serious disease.
Yeah,
Don't
like
brush it off.
oh, I mean,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel serious because when you decide in your body to be like, oh,
Sorry.
I'm actually just healthy. Like
Yeah.
and I've had skin like, I mean, like eczema, stuff like that. That's like really ugly and annoying. And instead of being annoyed with it, just being like, I would look at my arm and be like, oh, I'm so grateful for this perfect arm.
And it would just go away.
Like, oh, it's so nice, because if you're constantly scratching something, you're acknowledging it to the point of death.
That's what he said to you. You're feeding into it.
Yeah.
You have to pretend it's gone.
I would literally just be like, oh my God, it's so nut. Like, oh, it feels so good. And so the same thing with like, okay, I really want this thing. Like, what would it be? I did that while we were here. This dress
Really?
that I'm wearing, I was
Yeah.
like, I really want this dress. And yeah, I found someone, and I'm actually giving them a session back in LA, but
Okay.
they paid me enough to get the dress.
Are you serious?
I immediately literally walked out of the lecture, and this person was like, I really need help. Oh, you teach meditation, blah, blah. And they were like, I want to book a session with you in LA.
That's awesome.
So they paid me on the spot. I bought my dress.
That's awesome.
Isn't
So,
that
ladies and
crazy?
gentlemen, she gives private sessions for meditation and yoga.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave her information afterwards.
Like,
Hire her. She'll help you. to help you for sure.
And I want to
There's
do quantum healing now too.
quantum healing.
So I have 3 programs. One's the Ultimate Femme, which is more of an embodiment practice.
Okay.
One is the Mystic Muse, and that is
That sounds like a cool band name.
yeah, right. It could be.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. But that's for more of like the spiritual practices. And then I'm doing the Quantum Muse, which is all 3 of the programs together, how to be quantum, mystical, and the ultimate embodied feminine.
Oh, nice. Is that what you're taking from this?
That's yeah, that's like what channeled through me throughout the whole
That's
week.
awesome.
I've been taking notes in my phone like nonstop. I'm like, oh, I am so excited.
Do it.
I just want to see women really rise.
Good, as they should.
Yeah.
Just but equality.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Across the board. Yeah, definitely. I've had plenty of managers that are girls and they're really good. Yeah. Why not? Okay, what else? Anything interesting? Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you that story.
Oh yeah, what'd you find?
So I really wanted to buy a Toyota Prius, because I totaled my car, and apparently there's like a shortage of cars right now, and I really manifested the car, the color, and everything, and I pictured myself driving it because I had the same car. It wasn't that hard, but there's like $8,000-9,000 markup on that car from like 27 to like 36, and I'm like, I don't want to pay that. It's just overpriced. So I shopped around for it in Utah. I couldn't find it. I drove to LA. I shopped around for it. I couldn't find it. Finally, I found this dealership where I had to wait a month to get the car. And I put the down payment. I was like, okay, I guess I'll just fly back. And when I get the car, I'll come back. And I still picture myself driving to Utah in the car. Literally, the very next day, the guy calls me and is like, hey, someone canceled. We have the same car that you have. We only have one. You have really good credit. If you want it, it's yours. Come and get it. I was like, I'm on my way, dude. It's like, no questions asked. Yeah.
That's amazing.
But I generally, like, deep down inside, with every fiber of my body, I wanted that car.
Yeah.
And I got it. It's not a super fancy car, I get it. But for me, it's a car. I'm happy with it. Yeah, but I like that car.
The point is, you got it when you wanted it, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you very much.
But
how does that work? How does that process work? Like I get it, like a clear intention with an elevated emotion.
Yeah.
But what causes it? Like electricity, the magnetism. I'm not going out to get the car. I technically pull the car towards me.
100%.
But that's crazy how you work, like your mindset.
Oh, well, there's 2 ways. We could talk about it from the point of the quantum, which is like what we're studying here. So if your third eye or your pineal gland and then the top of your head are like a cone, right? So you see this radio right at the third eye. And then I think the crown amplifies it, like sends it out into the universe.
Transducer?
Yeah. So it's like, all right, like, where's my car? And bing, 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 the stronger you are, the stronger your desire is, the stronger in your heart and your mind. You're already like, well, it's already my car now. Like, you saw yourself driving to Utah, not in a week or a month. You're like, no, I'm driving.
Yeah. That's not exactly how I saw myself. I even got a one-way ticket. I was in Cancun a month ago. I flew back. I was like, I'm just gonna find the car.
I love it.
There's no backup.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing too.
Yeah.
It's like so it's like letting it go too, and then moving into like you're living your life. You're not expecting anything. You're present to the moment.
Yeah.
And so the moment opens up in a miraculous way.
That's crazy. Like I wouldn't believe it until I started practicing, and it works.
I've had a
dude.
It works. That too.
It works.
Yeah.
It legitimately works. It like maybe once or twice it might be a coincidence, but it's really not. And the more you practice and believe in it, it's just something you're creating.
Yeah.
Out of nothing, which is great. So I could pull amazing things to me, and I don't even want money. I just want like experiences and cool stuff, and it does happen. And I meet interesting people. Like this week, how many people have we met?
It's amazing.
Yeah. Do you think you could do that same thing, like in a bad intention?
Oh, well, 100%. So I think that's one thing of why meditation and yoga and self-work are best, is because that's when your heart is open. So you're manifesting from a place of love and kindness and for community. I believe, I don't even think people mean to manifest, but you're always manifesting.
Yeah, you are.
You're never not manifesting. Any thought you think, any intention, any heart, any feeling. That's why it's important to get out of anger and get into love, because if you're in anger for 5 days, and of course you're going to keep having things to be angry about. You've just been putting out anger for so many days. The world is going to reflect that to you. So I don't even think a lot of people like are bad manifesting. Like, I'm going to manifest that this blows up for this person, right?
Right.
That happens. That's black magic, but that's bad karma.
That's what I mean. Can you actually manifest that for other people, like bad stuff? But that is bad karma.
Yeah, I think that's just really bad karma. I think it happens, but I think it hurts people more.
Definitely. Like it's a boomerang, right? What you put out there comes back to you.
Exactly.
So if you do good things will come back to you. Like people that donate to charity a lot, good things end up happening.
Yeah.
But so you
But
think the
only if it's from
opposite?
a good place.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not
Not if you're
saying
doing
get
it
it and
'cause you
post it
have
on
to.
Instagram. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. Not because your friends are doing it and you don't want to be left out. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it has to come from a genuine place. But
Yeah.
what I mean is like the same opposite. You think that could happen? Like I just want to hurt someone or like throw it in the field or something like that. And like, but something bad will end up happening
I was
to
gonna
you
say
too.
it's so not even worth it
Yeah, it's definitely not worth it.
because you're
I
all
agree.
one.
Do you think bad people could get into the quantum field?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you think so? Because you have to open up your heart. Because I talked to someone else yesterday, a couple people.
Really?
Yeah. What they were saying is, like, think about it. Like, even though you're a bad person, if you open up your heart, your
Then you
heart's
wouldn't be
open.
bad.
You wouldn't be bad, and then you could actually get in, and then you have this abundance of love, and then you realize you're doing bad stuff.
That's true.
What do you think of that?
I like that.
Yeah.
And then they like feel forgiveness because
Yeah, definitely forgiveness
they're
and
like, oh
love,
my God, I
joy.
can't believe I did
Or
that.
like someone having an epiphany that, they shouldn't be a shitty person in life. Yeah.
Yeah. Or do shitty things to
Yeah.
themselves. I know that came through for me even. I was like, wow, there are moments when I'm not so nice to myself. And I'm highly practiced, so I can
Yeah.
imagine how the rest of the world is doing.
Yeah. So the key is to constantly practice.
Yeah, and being love and kindness and like treat ourselves like we're 7 or 5, treat ourselves like little kids. Like we just
Yeah.
want to be curious. We're always learning and growing, and mistakes happen. Just don't take it so personally.
Nice. That's what I was worried about. I was like, what if someone gets into the quantum field, hypothetically, and they're like a bad person, and then they try to explain it to me. They're like, well, if they wouldn't be able to get in. First of all, if
Yeah.
your intentions are not good, right?
Yeah. I think what happens though, if you're manifesting, so if you're manifesting but you're not conscious of what you're thinking,
Mm-hmm.
you can start to have bad luck of like,
Yeah.
oh, I stubbed my toe, and then oops, I wrecked my bike, and then oops, I dropped all my bags at the grocery store. So it's like you have to stop what you're doing, consciously come back into the heart and be like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I deserve nice, easy things.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay. On the last note,
Yeah.
let's say for people that are in a rut,
Okay.
let's say they're down. What advice would you give them
Oh my God, I love this.
as a healer or like a practitioner?
Yeah. There's a quote from the shamanic culture that says, when was the last time you danced? When was the last time you sang? When was the last time you told a story? And when was the last time that you spent time with good friends?
Did it all today. I did all those things today. That's why I feel good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was dancing, singing. I have a new friend now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll definitely come visit you in LA.
Perfect.
Yeah. We could do yoga. You could give me some advice.
100%.
Yeah. Today. So yeah, just ask yourself that question.
Well, yeah, and then do those things.
And yeah, definitely do them, of course.
It's in our nature to want to play and
Yeah.
celebrate.
Yeah.
So if you're in a rut, just start celebrating anything.
Yeah.
Get
That's what I say.
out of your own way.
Yeah.
Turn on your favorite song. It's so hard sometimes. It really is. But
I'm
that's why
sure it
having
is.
good community and like, people that are like, hey, I see you. Like, come on, play with me.
Just play. Just do
Yeah.
anything. Play basketball, play soccer, do what you did as a kid.
Yeah.
Just be playful.
I always have coloring pencils,
Yeah, I saw
coloring
your
books,
notebook.
paints. Like for me, if something is going on, I'm like, oh, I feel a little weird. Like I'll just play color. Like it's not as immature as at one point I was like, I don't need to do that. It's just lovely. I'm like, oh, I feel good.
Yeah, and you're drawing.
Exactly.
Just like little kids do.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
It doesn't have
Cool.
to be perfect. You don't have to be Picasso. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
get to
Don't
play.
Yeah, don't over what do I call it? Grade yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, just play with it. Got it. Cool. Hannah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely I recommend you
Yeah.
hire her as a yoga instructor or just as a healer. Apparently she's getting work from here, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll leave your stuff in there.
Thank you.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.